I think making the local community participate in the task that we have ahead, which is ensuring health for all, is going to be almost impossible. So I think we should start at this level in this hall itself, wherein participation should be welcome and voluntary, and also enhancing and enriching the experience for each and every one of us present here. So I belong to Kerala, and I have, I would say, limited experience in the administrative service in Kerala. But prior to that, I've been working as a doctor. So I think I'm trying to combine the two and put forth what I think of the role of local self-help groups in ensuring coordination in healthcare. They say that wise men participate and the rest just observe. So that is the core of participatory governance, and I think from coordination, it's time that we move on to participatory healthcare in our country. And in our state of Kerala, that's what we are looking at to ensure participatory model of healthcare. I think Kerala is primarily known in the developmental saga for two things. One is the Kerala model of development, wherein there are high social indices or human developmental indices with very low economic progress when compared to other states. And the second achievement of Kerala that the state almost always boasts about everywhere is the Kudumbashree, or the self-help groups of Kerala, which has achieved tasks which was deemed impossible at one point of time. So 1997-98 was the period when Kudumbashree missions, which literally translates into families as symbols of prosperity. So the whole idea of Kudumbashree, or the self-help groups in Kerala, was that to reach out to families through women and to reach out to communities through families. So that was the ladder we were looking at, and every family could nominate or could have one woman member participating in their Kudumbashree units at the local levels. And small such units were formed across the states, which gained strength and more strength and more strength. And they are probably the largest community network of women across the world today. We have 2.77 lakhs. That's the last count that I got when I checked up the net today afternoon. So as on March 31st, there were 2.77 lakh Kudumbashree units in the state, which consisted of around 43 lakh women from the state. Now they work in multiple fields of development to ensure that families and communities prosper. One of the areas where they work is health and nutrition, of course. So from Kudumbashree, I just want to mention 3 learnings. One, Kudumbashree was done as part of the People's Plan campaign in Kerala, which was in a pitch to ensure the devolution of power from the top to the grassroots took place very smoothly. So this whole idea of decentralization of power and distribution of power at the grassroots level took place very smoothly through Kudumbashree units in Kerala. And this is the same that now we are looking at healthcare as well. So the 3 things from Kudumbashree I want to tell you. One, there are 3 ways in which self-help groups can be used for healthcare, which we are doing in Kerala right now. So the first one was something called Santwanam program, which we had started probably in the last decade, 2004-05, if I remember right. So in Santwanam, what was done was each Kudumbashree could nominate 2 members from their units for training purposes in healthcare sector. So healthcare delivery for non-communicable diseases was the focus of Santwanam program, wherein 2 women were nominated from each Kudumbashree member for training, and they would be trained as to how to measure blood pressure, how to take a blood sample and screen for diabetes, and how to calculate the BMI. So basic lifestyle diseases could be covered by this. And these members were sent out across the wards, across the panchayats, to government offices, to other public places where people come in, and mass screening of these diseases were done just by the Kudumbashree members, and it was hailed as a great success. We could almost achieve near complete screening through these methods, and they would do it at most places free of cost, and at some places for a very nominal cost. So that's one very simple method of using self-help groups for screening methods of diseases. Now, second is a comprehensive method wherein there were Kudumbashree units which came up with their own ideas of combining various forms of healthcare service delivery like maternal healthcare, child healthcare, nutrition, organic farming, waste management, water purification, etc. But unfortunately, these were mostly localized Kudumbashree units, so I cannot give you great examples of things having done across the state. But there are districts where such comprehensive local self-help group plans were implemented very successfully. One of them, if you can check, is called Poliva. Poliva in Calicut district was one such mission, which was a very good program as well. And the third and the most important example, which is underway in the state of Kerala right now, incorporating local self-help groups. This is called Janakiya Arogya Mission. Janakiya Arogya Mission is nothing but People's Health Mission. Now, People's Health Mission is just a replica of the People's Plan campaign that I mentioned earlier on for devolution of powers. So there we were talking about devolution of political powers, and here we are talking about devolution of health powers. By powers, I don't mean the power to sign. By power, I mean the power to lead a healthy life. So, Janakiya Arogya Mission was announced by our Honorable Minister who was here today morning by the end of last year, December, January. And Janakiya Health Mission or Janakiya Arogya Mission is a concept wherein at each ward level we have health task forces in Kerala. So these health task forces would be comprised of 25 members, and these 25 members include members from Kudumbashree units in the local ward, members from voluntary organizations, retired public healthcare professionals, NGOs, and anyone who is interested in promoting public healthcare service delivery. So these healthcare task forces draw up their annual plans, identify their localized diseases and the local needs, and present it, and then get it implemented through the various political representatives who are also part of this local groups. So that is one thing which we are about to roll out and implement, and we hope that that will be as big a success as the People's Plan campaign in Kerala. So these are the three things I wanted to tell you from Kudumbashree. I know time is running out. So let me just suggest a couple of things from what we have learned, which can probably be replicated in other states as well. So why these local self-help groups for coordination? I think the most important reason in healthcare is that participatory healthcare process at the grassroots definitely transforms the health-seeking behavior of people. Why is Kerala so health conscious? Why did we achieve IMR and MMR, which is probably envious when compared to the rest of the country? People say education, people say women empowerment, and a lot of things, a lot of legacy and history. Notwithstanding all of that, I think the single most important reason for achieving high healthcare indices in Kerala is that health-seeking behavior is very, very high. You have a viral fever for a day, there is nobody in Kerala who would not go to a hospital. Probably, as a doctor, I would say it's slightly on the higher side. It's more than what is required, but not, that's not a major problem. That's what probably Morning Minister was also trying to say, that everybody rushes to the medical college. Everyone wants the best of healthcare there. So health-seeking behavior is so high in Kerala when compared to the rest of the states. And why is it so high? Because we have been able to infuse the awareness up to the grassroots. How have we been able to do that? Through the local self-help groups in Kerala. So I think if we can change the health-seeking behavior amongst our population, half the job is done. And all this infrastructure that we have at the grassroots levels will not go rusted away. And people will start using it. And that is the most important message I want to give you all today. Just one more point related to the recent World Health Day celebrations. I heard Karnataka had a very remarkable celebration with great celebrities like S.Iyer attending the event. So I thought this example would be relevant here, especially in Karnataka. So with respect to the World Health Day, WHO had given out the theme saying depression, let's talk. And I think mental health is one area where local self-help groups can work wonders. We haven't experimented it in Kerala as yet. I hope we will very soon. Because the taboo associated with depression and other mental disorders can be shooed away only through self-help groups and only through participatory healthcare. Especially for, we almost have an endemic of depression, a wave that's running across the country right now. So there are very simple questionnaires which can be used for people on the field by just trained personnel. You don't need psychiatrists, you don't need psychologists. The WHO itself had actually released the 4 questions that can be asked to people at the community level by anybody. Just 4 questions, very simple ones. 1, in the last 3 weeks, have you been feeling extremely sad? 2, in the last 3 weeks, have you been feeling listless, which is that you've lost interest in activities which you're generally interested in? 3, have you been feeling extremely lethargic in the last 3 weeks? And 4, have you experienced insomnia in the last 3 weeks? That's all. So just 4 questions. Imagine the impact it can have on the community if our local self-help groups can actually act as screening mechanisms for depression. I think mental health has its answer in local self-help groups. So thank you so much. I hope I have overshot my time by too long.